World Bank don't lock their conversation. Nigerians waiting. World Bank don't lock their comment section because of Nigeria. As Nigerians here say, Tinubu won't borrow another $1.2 billion. Now Nigerians rush for World Bank Instagram, X account. Boy, they rush there, all the social media. All the World Bank social media accounts. Nigerians rush their food. Now that place you go see unity in diversity. All Nigerians unite. Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Efik, Ibibio, all of them, Christian, Muslim, people who know they serve God, people who believe in three. All of them join hands together, flood World Bank account. They beg them, I beg you. No borrow my money again. They say, don't borrow him money again. People, they speak their mind. Don't borrow him money again. No. The money that you have been borrowing him, we are not benefiting from it. It's for their personal gain. Oh, boy. The other one right say, don't borrow him. Oh. The money you are borrowing him is for his campaign. They write. What bank will say, what did they happen? They lock comment section. So, anything for them to lock comment section, me say they don't get the message. They actually got the message. Straight up. Guy, Nigerians are no under. Nigerians are, if Nigerians mean you. What bank? If truly you are borrowing money based on integrity, based on betterment of the country, and when I go see all these comments where Nigerians don't make, and when I still borrow money. Mind you, we don't want to now. That is the owner of the country, because we are the owner of the country. It's not the president. The president don't own the country alone. We are the citizens. We are the owner. Now we suppose Greece say, oh yeah, go, we back you. For citizens of a country to come, you say, no borrow money again. If you borrow now, your hand is there, we no pay. If you tell make you borrow money, just make you use them as collateral. Tell them make you bring personal collateral. Because anything we concern Nigeria, we don't use them pay on a back. We don't tell on now. You people are warned. Stop borrowing money. Stop lending him money. 1.2. The ones where they don't borrow before, we don't see anything. Once we ask, wait till I use money, do then go point to Costa Road.
It appears the World Bank has restricted comments on its Instagram page after thousands of Nigerians flooded the platform begging them to stop lending money to the federal government of Nigeria. The digital protest erupted after reports that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is seeking a fresh $1.25 billion World Bank loan for approval on June 26th. Just 6 months before the 2027 election. Nigerians stormed the page with one message: stop borrowing our leaders' money. Let's take a look at some of the tweets. Martins wrote on X, stop giving Tinubu loan. Tinubu's achievements so far: 1. Expensive fuel, expensive food, expensive electricity, weak naira, rising insecurity, growing poverty, endless propaganda. Olaiton wrote on X, the money are being used for personal interest, not for the country. It is being used for their election, not for the country. Hear the masses cry, and please don't grant them the loan, because we, the masses, will still suffer it. I'm sure you saw that, Adefemi, the hashtag, stop borrowing Tinubu loan. Well, just days ago, Tinubu announced Nigeria will spend $11.6 billion on debt servicing in 2026, nearly half of projected revenue. Now he's seeking another $1.25 billion loan, and the World Bank's response to frustrated Nigerians is to lock the comments. Well, an institution that preaches transparency just silenced the very people whose futures are being mortgaged. I mean, this is such a complex story, Adefemi. Just to put it in context, the loan is called Nigeria Actions for Investment and Jobs Acceleration, which the government says would support economic reforms, improve electricity, agriculture, and job creation. At the current exchange rate, the proposed $1.25 billion translates to around 1.70 trillion naira. Just to put it in context, how much external financing this administration is seeking amid extreme economic reforms and citizens' hardship. Your thoughts?
It's quite tough. Okay, so firstly, I think just as human beings, as Nigerians, it's very important that we don't conflate our thoughts as facts, right?
Yes.
Because this is a legitimate loan request, and as you've just read, this is the purpose of said loan.
Yeah.
Nigerians have every right to feel concerned, angered even, with the rate of borrowing in this country, because it is staggering. We actually had an entire guest segment on this topic earlier today. So it is legitimate that people should be and can be concerned. You are entitled to it. What I want to say about the comments being logged, do you know how many comments you would have to leave under a post for that page to say, actually, we're just going to stop?
Must be a lot. You know how many
Must be a lot.
Yeah.
And there are many Nigerians,
Yes.
right? So I can understand the frustration from the second tweet, or even your analysis there where you said that, you know, it shouldn't be the case that the World Bank are blocking comments and making people struggle to have their point put across. That shouldn't be the case. But I think this is also an example of the fact that the World Bank did hear what Nigerians have to say. Mm-hmm. And it's not a situation of them saying, we're now no longer going to borrow your president. It just doesn't work in that way. But Nigerians have every right to feel concerned about it. But I don't think the narrative should be this money is being used to fund personal ambition or personal gain. I don't think that's correct.
It's your turn to speak, but you wanted to add something.
I think it's misplaced what Nigerians do. It's not the World Bank you should go to.
Yeah.
What you should do is get your lawmakers as we speak. Call them, get their number, bombard them with message and say when they bring this loan to the ground of the National Assembly, don't approve it, reject it.
Fantastic.
So it's not the World Bank. Go to your lawmakers.
All right.
Those are the people you elected. That's your voice there.
Well, all right. Nigerians flooded the World Bank's Instagram page begging them to stop lending money to the federal government. Now, the World Bank locked their comment section. Mr. Bwala, when citizens are begging international lenders not to give their government money, doesn't that tell you something that is fundamentally broken in how, you know, Nigerians perceive this administration's economic management?
This is the eve of election, and so it is difficult to tell whether the citizens who have flooded the page asking that Nigeria be denied the right to borrow, whether they are opposition, they are opponent, or they are genuine citizens. But whether they are opposition, opponent, or genuine citizens, they are citizens of Nigeria. And they have a right of expression. But government has a duty to execute the provision of the Constitution. In leadership, you listen to people, but when it comes to carrying out your responsibility, you do that in accordance with the law, due process of law, and your understanding of the responsibility that is placed in your hand. If as a government, you are going to react to a people who on social media say do not borrow Nigeria A, B, and C, what about if you have a counter distinction of another set of people saying go and borrow? How are you going to move as a leader? Leadership is not guided by certain things that do not have the backing of law. The World Bank, the IMF, and experts in the field have said that our borrowing so far is still on amber. It is not red because we have been able to establish a revenue ratio, even though it is not that much, but it is not a danger, it is not red. The truth of the matter is this. We do not as a country have sufficient funds to deal with infrastructure, to stimulate the economy. And with the daunting tax on us, and the responsibility to redirect the economy, we have to do what we have to do. Borrowing is part of it. America is borrowing money, and that is the largest economy in the world. There is no country of the world that is not borrowing. We can argue about whether our borrowing should be conducted or done now or later. But one fact that I can tell you is that the World Bank and experts have said it is